time.
Man, that thing knocks loud, and I forgot I just put laundry in. We're starting recording. Start streaming. And go live. Starting. And we are live, Evan. How do I
All
minimize?
right.
All right. Trying to minimize this stuff without shutting it. There we go. Hey, I did good. Gonna share this to my personal page real quick, and we will get show 168 on the way, Evan.
Very nice.
It is,
Show 167.
huh?
I don't see the views. I was thinking about 160 last week. We had a few views on that page on that show, didn't we?
Let me scroll down. 465 views, and I think 35 from YouTube. So, Evan, I think we hit 500 views last week, bro.
That's craziness.
We're pretty close. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Shit. We appreciate you guys for checking us out. It is Al from D-Town&Chili442 Show. I forgot what I was doing. I was sharing this. Or did I? Uh-oh, Evan. It's going to be one of those nights. I worked in a hot I worked in a hot garage today.
I thought you had it all together.
No. Even if I wouldn't have worked in a hot garage.
That'll wear you out.
Can I say something? And I apologize to a lot of people that tune in, because I've noticed the last few weeks we have talked about vehicles, and today's going to be no different, because I'm going to tell you a story. Sorry. Customer takes their car to one of them 5-minute oil change places, and they on some of them nicer German engineered cars, the oil pan and the transmission pan, well, I guess they could look similar. So they drain the transmission oil and put an extra 6-7 quarts in this motor. So today, supposedly they didn't start it. So, but oil went where it shouldn't have went, and I started that thing in the shop. I probably should have took it outside. Because that
Did
thing,
it smoke like crazy?
Oh my God, I smoked out the whole shop, man. Remember that Cheech and Chong movie when they were in the van? That's what the shop looked like, and we got fans on the wall that are like pointing towards the doors, and it was still just, I was like, oops.
Yeah, those things happen.
I could not believe how much that thing smoked. But I added some transmission fluid. I had drained all the oil and just added new oil. So, reset.
Well, if it
But
it
yeah,
didn't hurt it, huh?
this motor had 25,000 miles on it and could have been ruined. It could have been ruined. If they would have let that lady drive off, not only would it have ruined her engine, but all that oil dumping into the turbo.
Yeah.
Because it had a turbo on it. And then your transmission. You ain't got nothing in there. So,
Yeah, I mean I do, you know me, I've always done my stuff. Once I got out of school and I started restoring my 68 and started like working on cars, you know, myself as a kid, I grew up restoring a Model A with my dad, you know, so I'm kind of observed and helped, you know, but then you know, started working on my own car and I'm like, you know, I can change oil. This isn't, you know, that bad. So I've just always done it myself. And
yeah.
I just those oil change places, they make me nervous sometimes. Like I've been sick. Vicky's like, "Oh, my car needs done. I'm taking to one of those places," and I cringe. I'm like, "Oh, I hope
Oh,
it goes okay."
yeah.
You know, I wish I could do it, but I just don't feel like it right now. And um, yeah,
Look,
those places make me nervous. You
now
know,
look, if it's an maybe 30, $20,000 car, okay. But when you start getting up at 70, 80, $90,000 for base
hmm
models,
hmm
then you probably shouldn't take it to the 18-year-old kid. You know,
I agree with that.
unless they are like at a dealership or something like that where they've been trained to do that brand of car. I don't know. I want to take my, if I ever, see, if I get money though, I'd never buy me a fancy car.
No,
I'd buy a nice sedan. I think, maybe it might be a little quick, twin turbos or a supercharger on it, but it would be, you wouldn't be able to tell it was quick.
hmm
So,
yeah. So most okay, I'm not a high roller, so I don't buy new cars. But when you buy a new car, don't they usually throw in oil changes for, you know, like
yeah,
3 years or
yeah.
something, like just to keep idiots from going to the speed lubes and all
Uh,
that stuff?
y-
I understand, like you said, for they've got a warranty on that engine. There's a lot at stake for them. You know,
yeah.
I can understand why they want their boys to do the oil change.
Well, but
Completely understand.
yeah, but 25,000 miles, God, I would not trust, And I'd love to say the name of the place because I know they hire kids, and look, it's a good learning experience for kids. But there's some cars that they should probably say, hey, you know what? It probably ain't best if we do this. Because number one, you got
Yeah,
to have a scan tool to reset the oil lights and everything else.
yeah,
And
that's
maybe,
true too.
I don't know. I don't think they have access to, unless they got a, certified. They'd almost have to have a certified, like if somebody brought a Porsche in or, an Audi or, something like that.
Yeah, I
Ferrari,
can't
whatever.
imagine.
Could you
I
imagine
can't.
taking your Ferrari to the speed lube, Evan?
Not at all. That's pretty interesting. There's a speed loop indicator that's a mechanic shop, and I know of the guy who used to run that for a while. I don't know that the speed loop is based out of Decatur, but he has that headquarters in Decatur on El Dorado Street.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what building I'm talking about?
They actually build a. He's actually got a garage there, so he's
The
got.
whole upstairs is a complete penthouse.
Oh,
If you ever drive by there at night when it's lit up, you're like, oh, that's the whole upstairs is like a house above that.
and he
It's
lives
a
there.
I think when he's in town. I don't know for sure,
Oh,
but
yeah. He probably ain't more. He probably has people working that shit for him.
yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. He's got a place in Decatur, but I don't know if Speed Loop was based out of Decatur. But I'd heard the guy that started Speed Loop did 75,000 oil changes and kept track of all the filters and the procedures for like every car until he like started his own, you know, Speed Loop number one. You know.
Oh
Like,
man.
wow, that's a lot of oil changes, but that's what that dude did on the side, and he just, you know, kept tracking everything he needed. Pretty
Man.
wild.
Yeah. Well, good for him, man.
Yeah, just don't hire, you know, it doesn't wrong with hiring an 18-year-old kid, but train them and
Yeah.
supervise them, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And anything funky that comes in, it's like some of these weird, you know, German cars that have multiple drain plugs and stuff, you know. You got to educate them and oversee them.
All right. Right. Yeah, I just thought that was weird. We did just pass the 4th of July. I have all 10 fingers.
Nice job.
I did not light any fireworks. I had zero chance of blowing off any fingers this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. My neighbors lit off some nice ones, so I think they had a little pool party and shot them off behind the house. So yeah, I'd walk outside when they were lighting them off. It's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some neighbors, I guess that's north, and they had some big ones. And I kind of sat there and I drank a few beers in the garage and
Yeah. I'm on some Facebook, some backyard chicken pages and stuff like that, and people have been asking, how do chickens respond to fireworks? Because dogs. Well, Jake, I remember Jake every year, Fourth of July,
hated
he
them.
spent the day he spent the day in bed. That
Yeah,
dog did not get out of bed.
no.
So anyway, I was in the backyard and somebody around here lit off, I don't know, a quarter stick, and my chickens jumped like 6 inches. All of them. I'm like, bullshit, man. They were like, what was that about? The little stuff didn't bother them, but the booms, yeah, they came off their feet.
Oh,
But they went
yeah.
to bed as normal, and I guess it didn't bother them. I don't know. Everyone's like, they're gonna go to bed, they're gonna sleep, they don't care. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though.
Evan,
Poor
speaking.
little birds.
Yeah. Speaking of 4th of July, might as well do this one real quick. 10 4th of July foods no one really wants anymore.
Really?
Well, I can't wait to see this.
Uh
Jello
huh.
Jello molds with suspicious things inside. Yeah, that's wasn't that kind of a fad in the 70s and 80s? I think
I was
that's
just about to say that was more of a '70s thing. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Jello stuff like that has gone by the side. No one does that anymore, and no one's complaining either.
what the fuck just happened? Are you
I rem-
kidding me?
I remember
Oh,
my cousins having like Jello scarfing contests. Like, who could suck up like Jello like as fast as you can and swallow it. You seem like somebody suck up a whole bowl of Jello.
yeah, that's fucking
It's pretty funny.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's
Then
just water and gelatin and whatever.
okay, the next one on the list is dry overcooked burgers. No, we don't want those for the or stop that shit for the 4th of July. Get that dude off a grill.
Yeah,
If you can't cook a hamburger without making it dry, you should not have a grill.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No one wants hockey pucks.
No. Next one, store-bought flag cake. Yeah,
Flag cake.
I guess they just buy a cake and that's decorated like a flag.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess. Yeah, I could see that.
This one's old as shit too. I can't tell you the last time I've seen this at a barbecue. Ambrosia salad.
Oh yeah, we talked about that a long time ago. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure what that was. Yeah, that's another one's gone by the side.
uh here's a quick recipe for it, Evan. 70s Cool Whip, canned fruit cocktail, coconut flakes, and mini marshmallows.
Fruit cocktail, coconut flakes. What was it for whipped cream?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool Whip.
Uh huh.
I mean,
I
baked.
remember that.
This shit ain't just for the 4th of July. Baked beans that have been sitting out all day. Well, no shit.
I love good baked beans though.
I do too. I can eat cold baked beans. I,
Oh, I
man,
don't like that, but I put
shit, I
cinnamon
can.
in my baked beans.
Really?
Do you do that? Yes, there's that place down on that little barbecue place down the corner in Decatur on like Wood Street and Franklin, Water Street.
Oh yeah,
BJ's, whatever.
yeah.
I'm like, one day I'm like, what is with these baked beans? I dig them. What is so different? And I'm like, these people are putting cinnamon in there. And so the next time I just got some regular baked beans, dumped in cinnamon, and I'm like, I love it.
Oh man.
Eh, give it a try. I love cinnamon though.
The next one, 10 4th of July foods no one really wants anymore. Which I think so far we can agree we don't want these things on the 5th of July either. Overly mayonnaise potato salad. Yeah, man, I don't want mayonnaise. Dude, I tell you what, the worst potato salad I've ever had in my life. I had an ex and her mom. The man, oh, I make southern potato salad. You'll love it. Man, I was like, I couldn't hardly like find any potato. It was like mayonnaise, man. It was like,
That's
yeah, it was like soup. It was like, you know how cream of potato soup is? That's what it reminded me of, except not as chunky.
oh, that's horrible.
Dude, it
Yeah, I don't like
was.
that or way too mustardy. But other than that, I'm not picky. Um, yeah,
Store
but I'm
bought.
not crazy about the stuff. Some people act like potato salad is like, God's gift from the heavens. I'm like,
Man,
whatever,
hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. A good potato salad, yeah, yeah,
But
I'll
I'm
mess up
finding
a
that out
good
with
potato.
deviled eggs. I've always been like, so on deviled eggs, and people are crazy about deviled eggs
Oh,
sometimes.
see, that's me, cause I mean, they don't even have to be good, and I'll still fuck up deviled eggs. I mean, I will. Store bought coleslaw. Yeah,
Coleslaw, I'm not that into it.
I'd rather make my own. I think you can spice it up a little, and I always kind of make mine a little with a little pepper and then maybe a little cayenne pepper too, and give it a little spicy, but not that much, you know.
Gotcha.
And you can't use Miracle Whip. You
No,
gotta use real mayonnaise.
don't ever buy Miracle Whip.
No, it's horrible for it. Frozen corn on the cob. I agree.
Frozen.
Yeah, unless it's winter, you know. Oh, this is for 4th of July, though. Yeah, you should never have frozen corn on the cob on the 4th of
No,
July. There's,
no. When you got grills around and everything, I like to grill my corn.
yeah. But I guess if you live in a big city, we're kind of in the Midwest, so we can't go down the street without seeing corn.
True.
Hot dogs that have been boiled. Yeah, nobody wants your boiled ass hot dogs. And
No, put them on a smoker.
yeah, and look, if a dude invites me over and his grill is covered and he brings out a pan of boiling water with hot dogs in it, I'm punching him in the throat, dude. And we're not friends no more.
Yeah, that's not barbecue.
No. And it's an insult to our
That's not
intelligence.
cookout. That's what you feed your kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Some cheap mac and cheese, and that's another thing that should have been on the list. Boxed macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Just buy the pasta and buy some real cheese. Don't use that shit that Kraft put, read the chemicals in that cheese.
Yeah.
Just buy your own cheese. Little bit of cream or milk. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Make the best macaroni and cheese in the world. And you don't have to do it in the oven. You can do it in the damn. I used to smoke my mac and cheese.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, that shit was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I'll have to
Man.
do that again. Well, Evan, there's another one that's kind of 4th of July related. 15 illegal things people commonly do in an RV. I kind of wanted to see how many of these I did when I had my camper. uh,
Man, I think of all the legal things I could do in an RV.
I don't
I would love to have one.
driving on parkways in the Northeast. Oh, okay. It says because
Okay.
some of these parkways were originally built for passenger vehicles, and some still have bridges as low as 11 feet.
Uh,
Towing without the right license or endorsement.
hmm. It's amazing what people get away with, but yet what people like truckers, everything they have to go through. But yet,
Yeah,
ordinary people can get a motorhome and hook up a big enclosed trailer and just jet that thing down the highway when you
yeah.
wouldn't.
You're
It's pretty.
absolutely right.
Man, I knew a dude. He was 90 years old and he lived in his motorhome. Guy from Springfield, and he had an enclosed trailer behind it. I think it was a stacker trailer, which means you could pull in a car. It has a lift inside, and you lift it up and you pull in another one. And he was illegal lengthwise in some states,
Oh
and
my,
he drove that thing all over the country. Like 90-year-old man, gotta love it.
hell yeah. I hope I'm doing dumb shit like that at 98.
With
Uh,
with a regular driver's license.
yeah. Ignoring RV speed limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always did the regular speed limit. Maybe 5 over.
I remember going first time going to Talladega with Randy and his Winnebago,
Uh-huh.
and we left before they. It didn't, not a big Winnebago, a big block Chevy, between the, front seats and all that stuff. But he's like, it overheats if you push it hard, So I take it easy. Well, Randy, man, we're 2 hours in the trip and he's in the left lane just walking by cars. In his motor. Like, Randy, what the hell? As it seems to be running fine. Okay. You
Uh,
do your thing. You want a beer?
this is a list of what people illegally do with their RV or motorhome. Not wearing a seatbelt in a moving motorhome.
I was thinking that.
It says some states even require all passengers, even including those seated in the back, to be buckled up.
I've heard that. But yeah, your front seats. But wonder how many people switch seats going down the road or switch drivers going down the road in one of those. I mean, it's easy to do.
Oh, yeah. Hey, here, sit here. I got pee.
Yeah.
You
If I'm
know?
on cruise,
Yeah.
I'm going to hop out of the seat, hold the steering wheel.
Number 5, camping in non-designated areas in national parks. Yeah, I've never done that.
Ooh. Bad boys. Big deal.
Parking overnight on a residential street. Done that several times. But that's just because I
Really?
was getting up early in the morning and jetting. So,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Having your motorhome, your camper out there. Yeah.
yeah. Exceeding legal length, width, and weight limits.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Some of these. Ooh, number 10, letting dogs ride unrestrained in states that require restraints. What states require dogs to be seat belted in?
Oh, I'm sure they're
New Jersey and Rhode Island.
really. Yeah.
Yep.
Then in a
Driving with
motorhome.
driving with the propane on. Yeah, no running the heater.
Or grilling on the back deck as you're going down the highway.
That would be
Then we go on the
awesome.
back porch and turn these steaks.
Oh, listen to this. Ignoring the few remaining nighttime speed limits. In Montana, Evan, it sounds like they got signs that say day 75, night 70.
I think I remember that a couple
Yeah,
years ago. We were
yeah.
there.
So there you go. And if you are doing 75, you will get a ticket. No 5 over rule right there.
Yeah. I was rolling in one place. I had a cop flash his lights at me, and he didn't come after me. I was happy. I was rolling about 5 to 10 over, and he just blipped his lights, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool. And he was just sitting on the side of the road, just let me know, hey man, I'm watching, but I'm not coming after you.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
got lucky.
can you guess the last illegal thing that people do in an RV?
Screw,
No,
drugs,
no,
drink.
no. It's nothing like that. It's something with the RV.
You already mentioned towing.
Yeah, no towing. You're going to kick yourself when you hear it.
What's that?
Dumping waste illegally. Remember Dave? I should have started singing that Dave Matthews song.
Oh yes,
Remember when they did
yes.
that over the Chicago River?
Right on to some tour boat. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, they
That
got
really knocked that band down a lot.
man that
That was really a bad thing on them.
duh
And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't like
no.
lead singers like, hey, let's dump some shit on the across the river. But yeah, it was a really bad move. That's funny.
Evan, we got a few more lists, but before we do these lists, we got a few weird and wacky news stories from around this weird world. No Dave, though. No bozo criminal of the day today, so we apologize. But medical clinic pleads for a stop to unsolicited urine samples.
Unsolicited?
Yeah, they didn't ask for them. And
Unsolicited urine samples are never good.
a medical clinic in Scotland. Some of my roots are in Scotland, Evan.
Me too.
Is
I'm quarter
asking,
Scottish.
oh, nice. Local residents to stop bringing in inappropriate or unsolicited urine samples.
Bring them
Uh,
into where?
they're even bringing them in non-medical household containers instead of sterile sample containers.
Where are these people bringing their samples to?
To a medical clinic in Scotland. And I don't
Why?
understand why. I'm trying to read the story, and it just says this change is necessary due to the high volume of inappropriate and unsolicited samples being submitted.
And inappropriate containers.
I guess it's still.
Hey, here's a bowl of piss. Could you take
It
a look
doesn't
at
say
it?
what they're testing for.
Oh man.
The doctor said the culprits are often older patients seeking to be tested for urinary tract infections. UTIs, Evan.
I hear that happens a lot in some of these nursing homes. A lot of these these older people in their homes, they get it on.
Really?
And yeah, I guess it happens a lot more than you would think. And from your reaction, I would think that you probably don't think about it very often like a normal person.
No.
But anyway, it's what I've heard is that in some of these nursing homes, some of these old people do some boffing and they do get some diseases and stuff.
Uh, I guess, look, if I'm in a nursing home and, I ain't tied down, I'm probably going to swing that day.
What else you got to do?
Yeah. All right. Evan, I kind
Sit
of,
around and wait to die?
one of my top favorite comedies of all time is Billy Madison, and I'm really thinking about doing that. Teacher drank alcohol in class and got pupils to do the Macarena and then called them little shits.
Teacher gave kids alcohol?
No, she didn't. She gave herself
Oh, she was
alcohol.
the only one drinking, but got
Yeah,
the kids to do the Macarena anyway.
yeah.
Oh.
She has been
Good work.
banned from classrooms in Wales after a tribunal heard she got drunk in a class and started swearing at the pupils during a lesson that turned into a mini rave. Dude.
Mini rave.
Uh,
Um,
all these were.
how how can you be a teacher and not drink?
It doesn't say how, but this one says one 16-year-old he, told the hearing that Ashton also swore, calling the whole class little shits.
That'd be tough not to do too.
Uh, yeah, I guess they were like, so this was high school. I'm going to tell you what, Evan. I might have to show you this girl. They didn't make teachers. When me and Evan went to, they did not, none of our teachers look like this. Not a single one of them ever looked like this. I'm just saying.
I'm waiting.
Oh, I gotta shut
Oh, yeah, yeah. We didn't have anything like that in our school.
at all, ever. Unless it was like one of them student teacher things. You know, you'd get the college chick every once in a while. But yeah.
Yeah, nothing close.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the only way. I gotta watch what I say, but the only way. Like, there wasn't no good looking chicks having. If you got touched and you were a dude, it was by like the shop teacher or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. That means you have a better chance of getting touched by Mr. Nail, the shop teacher.
Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah, I don't remember any eye candy teachers ever in school, really.
No, I think I had one that I look back at now and think, yeah, she probably wasn't bad. But even at the time, I didn't think so.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
Evan, people with, well, they changed it to swamp crotch. People with swamp ass keep setting off TSA alarms, Evan.
TSA alarms?
Yes, sir.
Really?
A woman flying for the first time in 15 years recently shared that both airports she passed through flagged her groin area during the security scan. She had no piercings, no medical devices, and her pockets were empty. The only possible culprit, her sweaty crotch.
How is it detected?
Man, I can smell this story, Evan. She posted about the experience on Reddit and quickly found out that she wasn't alone. Other
Really?
travelers got some stank, I guess, Evan.
Got to be careful traveling in the summer, I guess.
With swamp ass, if you get swamp ass bad, you're going to get, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Who knew?
There you go. So I don't know,
There you go.
put a Febreze stick down there or something.
Mm.
Plane passenger in India caught with 16 live snakes in luggage, including a rhino rat snake.
Little snake charmer, was he?
Yeah, is
From
that
India, no kidding.
man? That is a green ass snake. It almost looks fake. Here, I'm gonna have to show you this one too, Evan.
What you called a rat rhino snake? What?
Yeah, I don't know if those are poisonous or not, but man, I'm gonna tell you what. This might be the prettiest green I've ever seen. I know it'll take you a minute to see it, but I just threw it up there real quick. And there we go. But yeah, so I'm trying to see if this snake is poisonous.
Mm. He had 20 something in his luggage.
Yeah, or 16.
Oh, big market to transport those and your luggage and bootleg them.
Man,
It must be worth some money.
there must really be
Somebody
because
smuggling snakes.
man, it seems like almost every week or at least every other week we have a story about somebody smuggling animals in an airport and in their pants. Remember, it wasn't long ago. Wasn't long ago we had that dude that had all them snakes in his pants, and one of them was venomous.
That's right.
Yeah, I wish he would have
Wow.
got bit on a dang line.
I
He
guess they
would.
don't allow you to fly with snakes, so you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, he would have kind of deserved that, don't you think?
Get his balls bit by a venomous snake.
I would think so. And
Well,
last but
what you
not
get for being stupid.
certainly not least, we've got millions of people around the world going hungry, but in the UAE, a drive on a highway with road rumble strips plays Beethoven's Ninth Symphony.
Really?
Yeah. What a waste
That's
of money.
neat.
Yeah, but what, for what? We don't need that dumb shit.
What a waste of money. Have you seen the money over there?
Oh, dude.
Cops are driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris,
Dude,
Um,
they took a trip out in the desert, and there's like supercars out there worth $3-4 million that just broke down, and the guy's like,
yeah,
I'll buy another one.
right.
That wasn't the last story. And not the last snake story, Evan. Snakes on a
Really?
plane delay a flight in Australia. What,
Mm,
what would Samuel L. Jackson have said?
I don't know.
Oh, you've never
Something
seen
MF and snakes.
on this MFing plane.
I never saw that movie. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I'm like, I can't imagine a movie about something so simple. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it worth watching or is it bad?
dude, I'm the wrong person to ask about movies.
Oh, you haven't seen it either. Okay.
No.
But knowing Samuel L. Jackson, I bet he said those MFing snakes.
Oh, you know he did. So anyway, I think that was our last news story. So there you go. Weird and wacky news from around the world. We don't talk about actual shit that's going on because, well, we want this show to, get you away from that for a good hour or so. And we help
From the
you
craziness.
out. Yeah, you learn something. If you listen to this show, you will take something away that you never knew. Because me and Evan learned shit on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, 17 things you can't legally store on your own property anymore.
Can't store on your own property.
Can't store on your own property. Junk vehicles.
Yeah, that's getting to be even out here. They cut down on that.
Yeah, and then you got HOAs. There's some places you can't even park a vehicle outside.
Right.
One that runs.
Mm-hmm.
Old tires. Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
keep a bunch of old tires around anyway.
You got to pay to dispose of those typically, though, don't you?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think so.
people end up throwing them in their backyard and stuff.
Yeah, that's why you end up seeing them in creeks and shit like that, which pisses me
Uh-huh.
off.
I agree.
Scrap metal. Yeah, that kind of sucks. You can't put a bunch of old lawnmowers and,
Really?
hot water heaters. And I mean, I
Man, I
guess
used
if
to in
you're out in the
Decatur. Huh.
well, no, you never kept it outside though.
No, I mean, like I would put a tub of scrap metal outside. It was like I put out at nighttime, and usually it was gone at like by 6 in the morning.
Right.
you know,
This is
It's
talking. This is more. I think they're talking more like a junkyard, where
just
you
throwing it
would,
out in the
yeah,
yard.
where you'd have an old
Uh,
fridge, hot water heater. Go out there
yeah,
when
because
you
a lot
need
of
a.
places, if you put something by the curb, it will usually disappear. I mean, scrap steel usually in town.
Uh,
Yeah.
Large propane tanks. Says a lot of counties are starting to ban propane tanks.
Well, that's what we live on out here. So tough.
Yeah.
Got
Uh,
to find another way.
yeah, broken appliances. No, just throwing the old
Throw the
washing
fridge out in the
machine in the
yard.
front yard, making a
Mhm.
planter out of it. Just throw a couple plants, call it art.
Yeah. Classy.
Uh, Indoor furniture left outside. Well, who in the fuck's doing that?
People with the couches on their porches
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
front yard.
I knew a guy that had one in a breezeway.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I've slept on that
But
thing drunk. Excessive lumber. Can't have the side yard looking like a Lowe's.
yeah, we get that sometimes. Yeah. Good lumber's hard to come by.
Portable toilet. Bullshit. I'm getting me a porta potty.
Yeah, out the front yard. One of those little camping toilets.
Hell yeah. Just sit there and look at the neighbors, read the paper.
Do you have one of those toilets that goes on the Reese hitch of your truck? So like you're out fishing, just slide it into the Reese hitch and sit down on it.
No, but now that you've said it, I am going to get me one.
You need one.
I need one bad.
Yeah, you're out fishing, you got to drop anchor. What are you going to do?
Um, I'll tell you a story. When I go fishing, for some reason, I get like bites on my ankles. Sometimes my legs if I wear shorts, but I always get bit up. So I wear two pairs of socks. So if I'm ever out in the woods and a number 2 creeps up, I just slip off a shoe, take off one sock, and I come home with 3 socks. And that happens quite a bit because usually in the morning I'll have me some Casey's biscuits and gravy, which if you haven't had Casey biscuits and gravy, that and a cup of coffee, you got about 45 minutes to be around the bathroom.
Yeah, throw a cigarette on top of that, right?
Man. Large shipping containers. Now I want to get one and I want to put it underground.
Bomb shelter?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I'd live in that son bitch. Piles of firewood.
Come on, you got to have firewood.
Yeah.
Our neighbor, that's all he does through the winter. He's got a wood burning stove. He doesn't run a furnace.
These are 17 things you can't legally store on your own property anymore. Abandoned boats. Yeah, that's kind of like a junk vehicle. I mean, unless
Yeah.
you're redoing it.
Yeah, unless you're just temporary parking it there, storing it.
Excessive building materials. Dude.
Lumber. Right.
I sit there, and there was this beautiful house built out in the country on my route. They had, they could have probably sold the brick back to the company and made, a couple hundred on it or whatever. Dude, it sat there and sat there. And it sat there so long that the metal bands that were holding all the brick together started popping. And I pulled in one day, and all these motherfucking bricks, like, just, they went all under the truck and everything. The guy's like, oh, man, he's like, I'm going to have to pick all those up. I was like, I'm leaving. Man, I got one stuck in between two tires. I was
Oh no.
pissed. I wanted to beat that dude's ass. Old mattresses. Why not?
Yeah.
What if you want a bone under the stars?
Well, put it in the back of your truck and drive out in the country, I guess. Not in your yard. Oh, jeez.
Unused hot tubs. Yeah, that's a breeding
Yeah.
ground for mosquitoes right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's like used appliance. Yeah.
broken playground equipment. Yeah, that's kind of eerie. That makes your house look like shit too. You got an old
Yeah.
swing set that should have been taken down in '84.
Yeah. Get rid of it.
Hazardous waste containers. Well, no shit. Who?
Little toxic sludge and barrels around your house.
You know what? We don't have enough in the yard. Toxic waste.
Yes. Store it out front.
Boy, I don't know about this one. I do know about this one though. Evan, let's see if we're good. These are 8 things you should toss before you turn 50 years old. Let's say keep score if you get any. 8 things
Things you should toss.
toss out. Toss out the
Okay.
window. Get rid of them, Evan.
What do you got?
Number 1, childhood toys.
We got a basement full of them. A lot of them's Devin's, I'm sure, but Vicky, she collects stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
old books.
Mm, old books are cool.
Yeah, but how long do you hold on to them? Why not
I
pass
don't
them?
know.
I mean, unless you're going to read that book, because
Yeah, I agree.
once you read a book, or you might read it again, but
Yeah, it depends what it is, but I agree. Yeah, get rid of old. If they're just old paperback, whatever, nothing special, get rid of them.
decades old clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to
yeah.
the other day, dude. I had to part with some T-shirts, and it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt.
If you haven't worn a couple years, you're probably not going to ever again. Let it go.
Well, not only that, but they get so worn, and then washing them, they just start unraveling. And it's like, oh, I gotta let you
Yeah,
go.
they're garage shirts, and then they turn into rags,
I
or
don't
you
know
just
about
chuck them.
I don't know about this. Your parent stuff. Now I know. Well, here it says, it's hard to let go of their stuff, but squeezing 2 households into one isn't serving anyone. I guess if that's all their like furniture and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, damn, they kind of cheated on this list. Your grandparents' stuff. No, I tell you what, I still got my grandma's cedar chest. That thing's badass.
Yeah. Hmm.
I ain't had a single
You,
moth in there.
you can only keep so much stuff.
Ancient bills and papers. Yeah, don't be that dude.
Yeah, don't hoard paperwork like that. I try to go through my file cabinet every once in a while and just get rid of, old stuff. And somebody else is going to have to deal with that crap someday if you don't.
Uh-oh. Evan, I think these people are talking to you. Projects you'll never finish.
I haven't bought a project in a long time. I
Oh,
know better, but yeah, it just yeah, I got bit. I got too much going on, and then I got sick, and
yeah.
yeah, sick stuff. You turn into one of those guys that you hate. You're like, man, sitting on this car and whatever, and you say you're gonna fix it up, and you don't. Man, things happen to people in life, but as long as my junk is not sitting outside rusting or an eyesore, then nobody can really say anything. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people just keep buying projects and keep buying projects. It's like
And not,
you
yeah.
can't do all this. You're never gonna be able to finish all this. And some of those cars unfortunately sit outside and they deteriorate, and then no one can enjoy them. So you fucked up. Don't do that.
So, Evan, this last list, there was a few, and I couldn't figure out ones that I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to do this one, but I think we'll save that one for next week and do this short one, and then slide in a question of the day. I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and he gets a little political, and he's on, I guess he's on the right, as some people would say, and he got to talking politics at work, and he got a call into HR. So I found this. I don't know how, but it was 8 things you should never talk about at work. Number one,
Yeah.
getting boners. No, it doesn't say that. How others spend their time and money. Yeah, mind your business.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Next one, coworkers' meal choices and preferences. Well, what kind of fucking Karen are you? I can't believe he's eat. Bless you, Evan. Bless you again.
Thank you. Yeah. Unless I don't know. I know some people. How do I say? I worked a lot of Indians and some engineering, and there's some people that don't like the smell of curry every day
Oh,
at lunch.
oh yeah.
But yeah, whatever somebody eats, it's their business. Leave them alone.
Yeah. Next one on the list, Evan, of 8 things you should never talk about at work. Plans to leave the company or look for a new job. Man, I'm going to tell you what, I know we all get frustrated and shit. And I know
Yeah.
I've said it before. And
Yeah, but keep your mouth shut, and
yeah,
especially around anybody.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because people listen, that most of the people that you work with will run and uh, it depends. I work with some cool motherfuckers, so but I know there's also some people in that building if they heard me say something like that would run straight to the big boss.
Yeah.
But we all talk shit though. I mean, we've all been in that situation where that nothing has went right that day and you're like, "Man,
Yeah. Everybody gets frustrated.
I'm going to go to Deja Vu and put in for that, 3 ugly girls or whatever."
Okay.
Salary details. Yeah, always keep what you make on the DL, man.
There's a lot of companies. It's completely against company policy to discuss what you make with fellow employees.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
Frequent mentions of stress and burnout. Now, see, that depends on what company or I mean what field or that you work in. Because if you work in the automotive industry, you're stressed out as soon as you clock in. Your day is full of stress.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some jobs dealing with the public too that just like from day one, from the, walk up to the desk and it's like I can't imagine. I can't like be working at an airport and dealing with angry travelers for like 8 hours straight. Whew.
Ev- Evan, another thing you should not talk about at work, your recaps from your scandalous weekend.
Yeah, you don't need to tell them about your hooker and blow weekend.
Yeah, you don't need to tell them where your thumb went. Details about your love life.
Yeah. Again.
And I think the last one is deep dives into medical and health troubles. I don't know if you're getting ready to be gone for a little bit. You got to tell them what's up.
Hmm. Yeah. People want
Unless,
to go around spreading their misery everywhere though.
yeah, that's true. I was going to say, unless it's about you accidentally taking a Viagra in the morning instead of your multivitamin.
They're back to boners at work. Yeah. That's a no-no.
Yes. Uh, and I knew I was going to do that. It was right there. Oh, okay. I kind of like this one, Evan. What change have you made in your life that has had a positive impact on your life? This is our question of the day. Answer it, at home
I
too.
I quit getting worked up over the media. Um Man, when I hit like my 40s, I really got angry. I started looking at everything going on in the world and what was happening, and I just had this, you know, this angst almost. And I just realized it was, it was n- unhealthy to me, but also to other people around me. When you get pissed about stuff and you take it out on others, and it's not their fault. Um, but I'd say just really disconnecting, and you can't completely disconnect, but stepping back and realize things are out of your control, and a lot of it is theater. A lot of things are to get us hyped up, and not to fall into that. I don't know. I think that was one of the biggest things in my life that I'm like, I can't keep going on like this. And I see others doing it, and I see it just like it destroys their day every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
When you wake up with that negative energy, man, you're just asking for negative vibes, and it's like, no, life's too short, man. You don't know if that's going to be your last thought.
uh-huh.
Forget that. Look, is it?
But
No, go ahead,
go
Evan.
ahead. But just to wake up and listen to some extreme right or extreme left talking head, and just set your day off every day. Yeah, yeah, I already said it. Go ahead.
I think mine's going to probably. I think I'm going to have to piggyback off of you, Evan. Honestly, because
Hmm.
that's real good. I was actually going to go with something else, and then me stepping away from politics because I was deep into it, um, and it consumed a lot of me, and I realized one thing when I stepped back. Am I happy with the way shit is going? No, and I'm going to tell you what. I never have been. I've never been to a point in my working life where I thought, "Oh my God, this government is just taking such good care of me, and they're not misusing my tax dollars, and they're just working, and they're not millionaires." Look, when we got people in Congress that go in and they're making the bare minimum, and then 20 years later they're multimillionaires. Come on, man.
Yeah, they're playing us all the time, and we're played on both sides, and just I don't like I said before. Were you gonna vote harder? I mean, what
Yeah. I mean, what are you
we're
honestly going to do? I mean, so
right. You're
just make the best of it, because look, life's short. Me and Evan know that. We've lost quite a few friends, in the last several years, and people that affiliated with the show, everything like that. And man, it's too short. It is too
hmm
short. You are not promised tomorrow.
That's true.
Evan, last one real quick. You got
Oh,
10
more.
seconds. What is something you're proud of yourself for?
10 seconds. Proud of myself. I'm proud that I've one restored a car. I don't know, tore a car apart, put it back together. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm proud of myself that I always hated school, but yet I went through it. I got through it, and actually went back to school years later, and I got an MBA, which I can't believe I did. But and I hated every minute of it. So I'd say I'm most proud of that. I mean, in a way it's shallow. It's like, man, I built a car, got a magazine feature years ago, and whatever. But no, I'm proud of my education. I guess I don't use it really a lot, but I, I'm I'm proud of that. I would say.
Damn, Evan. I'm piggyback on.
What?
I was gonna say I think I'm proud of myself because I did not. I dropped out of school early and just went straight to work. And the last year, I've actually went back to school in a classroom, and all that. So
It's
yeah,
tough.
yeah, it is. I wish I would have went the first time, and then I wouldn't have to be doing it at 52. But what do you do?
Classroom is the hardest way to learn anything. It's not a I don't know. It's not a great environment.
No. Well, Evan, we ran a little long. Tell these beautiful people goodbye.
All right, people. Hope you had a wonderful Fourth, and it's cooling off a little this week. So hope you have a wonderful week, and come back next Monday and 8 o'clock and hang out with us again.
Hell yeah, man. We love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We damn near hit 500 views on that last show, and we appreciate that more than you'll ever know. Peace. We love you, and be good to one another. And like he said, we'll catch you guys next Monday with an all new show, award winning show.
Yeah.
Peace, guys.
Later.